Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First off, I do want to apologize. I know we were a few minutes late here. We had some technical issues, believe it or not. It's Webinar Wednesday. We rarely do these on Wednesdays, as you know, unless we have a double header week. Tomorrow is Halloween, so we wanted to get this in right before Halloween on Thursday. I just want to start off by thanking everyone for taking the time. I want to make sure you walk away with plenty of nuggets, great information, sales, ideas, strategies, all the above, which we're going to share before and after our official presentation today. We're also going to give away a great incentive at the end. So what we're going to do is ask a question that has to do with the slides we're going over today in the next 45, 50 minutes. Whoever answers first and correctly in that Q&A pane will announce your name and you walk away a winner. Let's see what I have in stock here today for the giveaway. It looks like an Apple Watch. So I have the new Apple Watch and an IUL prospecting book. And as long as you're an active Levinson agent, and again, you answer first and correctly, you are in. You're a winner. Okay, we're going to make this fun for everyone. In fact, everyone potentially could be a winner, because even if you don't win the Apple Watch, when we're done, go on to our Levinson Facebook page or our Google reviews section, leave a few comments about how it is working with Levinson, and I'll send you the new IUL prospecting book on us, okay? Or the new Mary Reed retirement strategies book, okay? Your choice. So what are we talking about today? So we have a great presentation. Our feature presentation today is going to be hosted by Jamie Conlon from F&G Fidelity and Guarantee Life, and he has some great new stuff to talk about. It's been a while that we had F&G on live with us. Okay, so they have a great story to tell, and they have a lot of new features. They're now rated A. This is not the old F&G you remember from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. In fact, they're even going to be at our expo for 2025. So very, very exciting stuff here to come. What I want to talk about quickly is, I know we have a lot of options, right, at Levinson. We have over 90 carriers, thousands of products. And let's face it, we have some great IUL go-tos, right, as you know and we know. Okay, so it's our job and your job to figure out, where do they shine, right? Who has that certain underwriting niche? Who's great for accumulation, living benefits, all the above? So when you have that certain prospect, right, you got a guy, you got a girl, you know where to go for what. And that's also what our marketing team is here for, to help you. Okay. So what I love about F&G, and I don't want to take any of Jamie's thunder, is they have some great niches, not only with non-medical underwriting, but number one in accumulation. Okay. And he's going to show you the proof in the pudding. But I was so impressed when I saw this. Not only that, but living benefits. Okay. Number one compared to the competition. So they really shine in these areas. Commissions, renewals, excellent. In fact, some of the best that I've seen, okay, in my 24 years now. So make sure you're paying attention. We have some great new stuff going on here at Levinson that I want you to pay attention to. And then don't forget, starting November is Long-Term Care Awareness Month, and it's your job to spread the word. Okay, I'm going to just tell you a quick story. I have a friend of mine that I've known for many, many years, right? 34, he's in his early 30s, 34 years old now today. And he said to me, Bill, he was actually, when I met him, he was a waiter at a fancy Italian restaurant. He said to me, Bill, I know you're involved with life insurance. I need to get a policy. What do you recommend? And then we have an agent in Boca Raton, Florida, that we made the introduction to, and they set him up, and everything was great. And they mailed him the application at that time, and he never filled out and sent back the application, okay, which would have been life insurance with living benefits. Long story short, I get a text message 2 weeks ago, okay? Keep in mind, 34 years old, 2 weeks ago. He's diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma cancer, okay? Shaved his head. It's in full chemotherapy, and it's a terrible, terrible situation. And I'll never forget these words that he said to me was, Bill, I should have got the policy. can't believe I didn't move forward. Had the application on my dining room table and I never turned it in. Should have listened to you. So don't let that happen to you, the agent, and even when you're the consumer, because you should all have policies. We believe in this stuff, right? This changes families. So you have to think about yourself as the consumer, put your consumer hat on and your agent hat on when getting the word out in marketing, and you make sure these prospects know how important this is to have the protection. Okay, that's where you come in. It's not just a commission and, hey, Bill, I sold a new policy. I mean, of course, that's great. That's how you feed your family and pay your bills. I get it. It's our career. Okay, but even before that, is your customer, is helping this family, helping these two small children stay in a home and be able to go to college and get their first car. So I don't care if it's LTC, living benefits, life insurance, right? All the above. You got to feel strongly about this, and you should have your own policy. Hello, no brainer. Okay, don't be what do they say, the shoemaker with no shoes. Okay, let's not be that guy or girl. Okay, let's jump in here. Just a quick little rant there that I had to share. Okay, I want to jump into the first presentation here. First slide is, and this was awesome. Me and Carrie hosted this webinar and presentation on Friday of last week, and it was the first time we ever did this because he was against this, believe it or not. So I said to Carrie, my dad, I said, Dad, listen, we have to pull the covers back and show what's going on in our industry today. Because I don't remember seeing this 10, 15, 20 years ago. And it's all this MLM fluff, right? And I don't want to mention any words about competitors or their names or whatever, okay? But our agents need to know, what are the questions to ask, okay? What is the gray area? Where is the small print? And what does it say? Can I get a release in writing if I change my mind in 3 months? Okay, things like that. Things like, I'm not even the agent of record. Okay, the upline is the agent of record. That means you, the agent, have no control over anything. And typically they're cross-selling to your clients and they're not paying you another commission, which is crazy. And then, renewals don't get paid either because they go to the agent of record. So anyway, these are a bunch of bullets just like that you need to know, because we know, right? Most of our agents, they love working with us, and they typically work with 1, 2, or 3 IMOs on the average. So if you're not doing everything with us, you need to know the facts. And that's what this presentation was about. You got to check this out. We're going to send it out in about a week. You'll be able to watch the webinar. It's about 40 minutes or so. What we also talk about here is why Levinson, and then all of the great things that you get. That's complimentary. And by the way, if you ever wanted a release, we do put it in writing as long as you have no debt with us, chargebacks. Okay, you are free to go. Also, quick example, our agents all get free orphan leads. Once you place at least $10,000 a premium in a year, which is not that much, okay, you get a free batch of orphan leads. The right-hand side is an example of a local agent that took one of those orphans, $50,000 conversion commission. Okay, no underwriting, boom, in and out, 50 grand done. Okay, so those are all existing term policy holders, and I'm telling you right now that those are the best sales to make. Number one, they're simple. Number two, the client already believes in life insurance because they have a term policy they purchased, right? We know how it goes. Okay, so make sure you hit that $10,000 number, and then we'll send you your free batch of orphans. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is shift gears for a second and talk about our annual agent expo, bigger and better than ever. 2025, our hashtag we're going with is Thrive in 25, and F&G is going to be part of it, which is very exciting. We invite our top carriers on the life and annuity side. We have our keynote speakers. We're going to have an agent panel, and what I can promise you on the record right now is this is going to be different than prior expos. I can promise you that, okay? It's going to be all day on a Friday, then we do a Thursday night dinner for all of the out-of-town agents. And on the right-hand side, bottom right corner, check this out. Number one, it's free for all active Levinson agents. Number two, starting at $30,000 of paid premium. You ready for this? This is life and annuity combined, by the way. Okay. So if you're writing life or annuity somewhere else, I would place most of your business here so you can qualify. One free night at our oceanfront resort right on the sand, folks, right on the sand. Okay. 60,000, one free night, round trip airfare. 70,000, round trip airfare, two free nights at our beachfront resort. Okay. So make sure you qualify. We bring in, like I said, dinner the night before, lunch, breakfast, snacks throughout the day. We have a networking lunch. It's a day you don't want to miss. Okay. And it doesn't matter your experience level. We're going to have a little something for everyone. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next real fast is talk about, by the way, I have just a couple minutes and then Jamie's going to take the wheel. One-stop shop here. So we know, right, and I mentioned it earlier, we have thousands of products, okay, and it could be very overwhelming, okay, over 90 carriers on the life, annuity, and supplemental product side. So every other week, this is going to be sitting in your inbox. One-stop shop, like I said, everything you need to know, what's hot, what's not, okay, maybe products that were discontinued, new rates, new products that were launched, everything is in our 411 newsletter, okay? Fresh, updated information. We get real-time updates. As soon as we do, boom, they go in a folder and then sent out to you every other week. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about lots of options here at Levinson. It's our job, number one, to go out there and handpick the best products, carriers for every single type of situation. Very simple. So you, the agent, when you call in to one of our marketers, you say, hey, Bill, Andrew, RJ, whoever it is, whoever you're speaking to that makes up our team. Hey, I got a guy, got a girl, right? Maybe they smoke cigars, maybe they're 111 pounds overweight, whatever, right? We're going to come back with the best carrier, product, health class, and premium for that specific client. Okay, and you can feel comfortable. They're not going to get another quote from a competing agent that destroys what we just gave you. It's not going to happen unless there's fluff on the other side and they're not telling the client the whole story. Okay, now that could happen. Okay, now, second part, we also, on the other side of this, don't want to have a Burger King, a McDonald's, and a BurgerFi all on the same corner. So each carrier has their separate niche. Okay, now, what I love, top left corner, F&G, and I mentioned it earlier, number one in accumulation, living benefits, okay? Lab-free underwriting up to age 60 to $1 million. Very simple concept. We're going to show you a sales idea when Jamie's done, a $99 legacy strategy that is amazing. I don't know a parent or grandparent that's going to say no to this concept I show you at the end, okay? And then you'll know why. And then you'll kind of get your arms around this concept. What you're also going to notice is the red asterisk is the free scholarship program. The green asterisk means they are our Stonewood sales software system compliant. Okay, that means the carrier gave them the green check for approval, which means their products are built into the Stonewood software system. It's a big plus, okay? By the way, if you want a Stonewood illustration to go present tonight at 8 p.m., right, let any one of our marketers know we can run these for free. Or if you want to be in the program as a member, we have a discounted price just for you. And then if you write a certain amount of premium, we pay for the platform for you. Okay. And then the Sage Scholarship Program is free. Okay. And those are the carriers that are approved. Okay. My next slide here is a formal introduction to Jamie, who is our National Accounts Manager at F&G, extremely knowledgeable when it comes to everything related to F&G. Jamie, you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Wonderful. Well, hey, Bill, I appreciate the intro. I'm going to share my screen, and then we will hop into this quick presentation. So can everybody see this okay?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. All right. Well, again, thank you, Bill and the Levinson team for having us on today. We are extremely excited to be here. We are extremely excited also to be a part of our first expo next year. So we are looking forward to that and looking forward to being with each and every one of you. I also want to thank everybody who's attending today. We do understand how busy you are, and so to take time out of your schedule to be with us, that's very important to us, and we do appreciate it. So thank you again. And so again, my name is Jamie Conlon. I'm the National Account Manager here at F&G. I work with the Levinson team. So if there's anything I can do to ever help you, please feel free to let us know. But your first point of contact would be Levinson and their back office. So today, what we're going to talk about is why F&G, who we are, and where we've been and where we're going, along with why F&G and our IUL products. And then I'll provide you with some additional resources when you partner with us here at F&G. So once you're contracted, these items will become available to you as a contracted agent. And just so you know, we do require contracting on the front end. So if F&G is of interest for you, which you should be at the end of this, but if it is of interest to you, go to the Levinson team to get contracted and start that. We are a pre-appointment carrier, so we do require that on the front end. So who are we here at F&G? We've been in existence since 1959. But what I'm going to do is fast forward to the early 2000s, and many of you who've been in the industry for quite some time now may have known us under the name of Old Mutual. And at that time, we were one of the largest term insurance carriers out there. And then 2008 happened, the market crashed, and we rebranded back under the F&G name. And now we only offer IUL products at this time. So just so you know, we were a large term carrier, but now we are an IUL only carrier. And then in 2014, we began to move our headquarters from Baltimore, Maryland to where we are today in Des Moines, Iowa. So that was a very strategic move because there are a bunch of other carriers located in Des Moines, and there's a large talent pool for insurance-based people in the Des Moines area. And then in 2017, we made a very strategic partnership with Blackstone Insurance Solutions. You may have heard of them. They are one of the largest originators of high quality, high yielding debt instruments globally. So what do they do for us? They manage our general account. So as those premium dollars come in and they go into our general account, Blackstone manages that in tandem with our chief investment officer. And they have the ability to help us obtain higher yielding investments without taking on additional risk. So the nice thing about that is any additional returns that we get, we can pass that on to the policyholder free of charge to them. And then in 2020, June of 2020, we were purchased by Fidelity National Financial. They are the largest title insurer in the US. What is great about this relationship is that with them being a title insurer and us as a life and annuity carrier, we're experiencing higher than normal interest rate environments like we are today, we as the life and annuity carrier are much more profitable, so we can bring more value to their bottom line. But when interest rates are low, right, and you're doing more mortgages, refis, Fidelity National Financial becomes much more profitable and brings more value to us. So that inverse relationship has worked out extremely well for both parties. And then in December of 2022, we did spin off part of F&G, which was 15%, and went public. So we are currently on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol FG. 85% of us are still held within Fidelity National Financial, but 15% is currently publicly traded. And then also at the beginning of this year in 2024, we received an A rating from AM Best, and we do anticipate increasing those ratings as the years go by. Also, JD Power and Awards rated us #1 in consumer satisfaction as well. So with that, let's jump into why F&G, why our index products. Look, we understand here that you have 10, 15, maybe even 20 plus carriers that you can go to for Index Universal Life. Why would you want to consider F&G? Well, first and foremost, we have strong product performance driven by a very reliable S&P cap rate history. So you're probably sitting here like, what do you mean by that? Well, if you look at our S&P cap rate from 2012 to today, so basically over the last 12 years, our cap rate has ranged from where it is today at 12%. No, that is where we are today, is 12%, through 15.5%. So over a 12-year period, we've only experienced a 3.5% variance. That is very, very important. We have had a very steady cap rate history. When you look at a bunch of other carriers, if you look at just even their last 5 years, typically they've experienced much greater than a 3.5% variance, and most of those have went down. They have not went up unless they've built new products. So again, very reliable cap rate history over the last 12 years, and that's just on our S&P cap rate. Also, our variable loan rate is contractually guaranteed not to exceed 5%. This should be extremely important to you as an advisor, but also for your clients when they go to take those distributions, right? They're going to take loans out of their contract. They know with us, we will never charge them more than 5%. Now, the great thing is that that's not a floor and a cap of 5%. It is just a cap of 5. When I started here in 2021, we were charging just over 2% for our variable loans. So that loan rate can come down from 5%. And just so you know, as of today, we're at 4.64 for our variable loan rate charge. And on the next slide, we will talk a little more about fixed loans as well. And then also with most other carriers, if they are at a 5% variable loan rate, you know, most of them are anywhere from 4 to 8%. But if they are at a 5%, that's usually their floor and their cap. Also, we have a suite of proprietary volatility control indexes that we do offer. Every one of our volatility control strategies are uncapped strategies, and they come with a bonus that we will talk in more detail about, along with a full suite of accelerated death benefit riders. These are automatically included. They include critical, terminal, and chronic illness, and that's for all cases approved table 4 or better. They are automatically packaged in and included with the policy. And then, as Bill had alluded to as well, we have exam-free underwriting through age 60 through $1 million of coverage. So what does this mean? It means your clients who are 60 and younger applying for $1 million of F&G coverage or less will not have to do an exam or labs at all. So they do not have to worry about an examiner coming to them, poking and prodding them. There is no exam for those clients through age 60 through $1 million. All right, so our flagship IUL product is the F&G Pass Setter. Before I jump into this, we have 2 other products. One is called Everlast. This is a more of a low cost. We're just looking for, here's the premium I've got. I'm looking for the max death benefit. That's that product. It has its fit here and there. The Pass Setter product is truly designed for accumulation and or distributions. And then we have another product called Execudex. This was originally rolled out as a more simplified issue type product, but we're going to speak more to our insta approval process that we have rolled out. So Execudex, I wouldn't even look at that product at this point. Everlast, really that is going to be for your more minimum funded sale. You're looking just to maximize coverage. Pass Setter, this is the flagship IUL. This is where 90+% of our sales are, and it is for the accumulation distribution design. So with Pass Setter, our product can be issued anywhere from ages 0 through age 80. So that's as young as 15 days old. So as long as the child is 15 days old or younger, they can get a policy through age 80. Keep in mind with us, we are a current age carrier. We are not age nearest. Most of those carriers who are age nearest say when you're within 6 months of your birthday, you are that new age. With us, you are your age until you attain your birth date. Minimum coverage on this product is $50,000, so you can go as low as 50. And then again, 2 distribution options. We have variable loans, right? We talked about that. They're contractually guaranteed not to exceed 5%. They can go lower, and they are lower today at 4.64. But for your more conservative client, we do offer a fixed loan option as well. So if your client takes a fixed loan in the first 10 policy years, they would experience a 2% net charge on that loan. Any fixed loan outside of policy year 10, so years 11 and beyond, we consider that a preferred loan. That would be a wash or a 0% net charge. And then we also included a neat little feature on here. This is free, free to your clients. There is no charge for it, but any withdrawals taken during the surrender period would incur a surrender charge. But what we say is, hey, if you need to access that money, we will waive 20% of that surrender charge or surrender penalty free and clear for you. So what I look back to, what happened in March of 2020, COVID took the world by storm, right? And so many people unfortunately lost their jobs. They had to look at other avenues for income or to access money. What better than your life insurance contract or your IUL contract? Well, with us, if they were within their surrender period, they had to access funds, we would have waived 20% of their surrender charge free and clear for them. So it's a cool little feature that we do automatically include. Again, there's no charge for this feature. Keep in mind with us, our floor for all of our index strategies, this is every index strategy that we have on the books, is a 25 basis point floor. So no matter what the market does, your client will experience crediting in any and every given year. So most carriers are touting 0 is your hero. With us, 25 basis points is really your superhero, right? So no matter what that client can experience or know, they are going to get some form of crediting. We also have a couple account value enhancements, or what we call persistency bonuses out in the field. Our standard persistency bonus is an additional 25 basis points. This is on all of our index strategies as well. Now this one begins policy years 11 and beyond. Now it is stackable, right? So if you're in policy year 11 and beyond, you have your floor of 25 basis points, plus you have this additional persistency. In essence, that brings your floor to 0.5%. And then we also have a 1% bonus. This is on all of our, volatility control indexes, along with one of our S&P options, which I will show you on this next slide. But that 1% bonus starts in policy years 2 and beyond. So there's a ton of added value with that bonus. So essentially, if you're in that second policy year, you're in one of these index strategies that has the 1% bonus, your floor is essentially going from 0.25 to 1.25. And if you're in that 11th policy year and beyond, now you're starting the year at 1.5%. So there's a lot of protective value for your clients, especially in those down years. Charges and expenses, we're on the moderate to low end. We are definitely not the most expensive carrier. We're going to be on that moderate to low end when it comes to our charges and expenses. And then no lapse guarantee, it is automatically built in. It's a 15-year minimum no lapse as long as the minimum premium requirement is met. Typically with funding of this product, you're usually heavily funding it, or you're funding it at target or higher. That guarantee will automatically carry out a little further. Just know with this product, it is not a dial a guarantee. So you can't say, hey, I want it to go to age 100 or 105. That isn't what can be done with it. It'll just carry based on funding. All right, so index options. I'm only going to cover 3 of them on this page. Do know at the bottom, our fixed account is currently crediting at 4.75%. That has been steady for at least the last 5 years. It was 4.75 before I started here, and it's still at 4.75, so it's holding steady. But if we look at the very top of this chart, this is our S&P. This is that your standard S&P. It's a 1-year point-to-point, 100% par rate. This is our high cap S&P at 12%. Now, what's great about this is your client is not having to pay additional fees or charges for this index strategy. It's automatically included. So what you see is what you get. Very transparent product, very transparent story. Now, the second item here is the S&P 500 with the 1% bonus. So note, with the 1% bonus, say you have a client who likes the bonus, but they still want an S&P option, this is the option for them. Now the cap rate is 9%, but you still have the 1% bonus in policy years 2 and beyond. Essentially, that would take that cap from a 9 to a 10% cap. And then we also have our Barclays Trailblazer Sectors 5 Index. This is a proprietary volatility strategy. It is uncapped, has a 170% par rate with that 1% bonus. So quick example, you have a 10% return on this strategy for the year. You multiply by the par rate of 170, that takes you from 10 to 17%. And then you have the 1% bonus, assuming in years 2 and beyond, that essentially takes your 17 to an 18% crediting. So very, very strong strategies. But what's really cool are the new volatility strategies that we came out with just a couple months ago, one of which is by BlackRock and then also Morgan Stanley. So these are pretty cool. Just so you know, the Barclays strategy, they look at, or they try to keep volatility around 5%. BlackRock looks and feels similar to Barclays, where they try to keep volatility instead of 5%. Theirs is a 6% clip. Very similar index strategy here. It's still uncapped, 160% par rate with that 1% bonus. So keep in mind with these indexes, so Barclays and BlackRock, the equity positions really follow the S&P 500, and then as volatility increases, they have the ability to move out of those equity positions into cash and bonds, which will help naturally reduce some of that volatility. But as they see volatility come out, then they will move more heavily back into equities. So that's how BlackRock and Barclays tend to function. Morgan Stanley is a little different. So volatility on this strategy is a 12% volatility clip. So until volatility is around 12%, they're going to be heavily in the equities position. Equities is not following just the S&P 500. So the equities are going to follow the large caps of the S&P 500, along with the NASDAQ 100, which is following tech and small caps. If you look back the last 18 to 24 months or so, about 50% of the S&P return has been contributed to tech stocks or tech companies. So this is a very intriguing, very cool index strategy that I think a lot of people are really going to grasp onto. Now, there are two Morgan Stanley options. There is a bonus option and a non-bonus option. So the one at the top is non-bonus. They are both uncapped, but with the non-bonus, you get 110% participation, along with, again, and no bonus. The second one is the Morgan Stanley with the 90% participation, but you get that 1% bonus. So essentially, if you had a 20% return on the non-bonus, that would take you at 110%. That would take you to a 22% return. On the one with the bonus, if you had a 20% return, that would 90% par takes you at 18% plus the 1% bonus, which would essentially be 19%. So I think really depending on what your client comfortability is, whether they want bonuses or not, at least with Morgan Stanley, they have two different options. So again, this is our full suite of index strategies that we do offer. Again, I think the Morgan Stanleys are very exciting, along with the S&P cap rate story that we have, which is only deviated again about 3.5%, but has one of the higher caps you're going to see out there that you do not have to pay for at 12%. All right, so let's dive into some of the benefits within the product. And these are our living benefit riders. Again, as I said earlier, these are automatically included as long as the client is approved at table 4 rates or better. So we include critical, terminal, and chronic illness. They're payable up to a max of $1 million. And so with critical illness, this is for your clients who may suffer a heart attack, they have a stroke. What we see the most here at F&G are invasive cancers. Then that client has the ability to accelerate their coverage for one of those items. And this is the full list of items that they can accelerate for critical for. Also, we have terminal illness. Let me take one step back. Critical illness is our #1 accelerated rider across all 3 of these. So it's not just for cancer and so forth, but this is our #1 accelerated rider. And what's great about us is even at a table 4 rate or table 3, Critical doesn't fall off. We don't minimize the amount of coverage. It's still up to the max of $1 million or the face amount, whichever is the lesser of the two. Also, we have terminal illness. So this is for those clients who are deemed to be terminally ill with a life expectancy of 24 months or less to live. They have the ability to accelerate. Do note the only caveat is if a client is getting a policy in the state of Florida, Florida dictates that life expectancy at 12 months or less to live. That's not F&G, that's Florida. So for all states, it's going to follow 24 months. For Florida, it will follow 12. And then finally, our chronic illness rider, right? So chronic illness is for those who can't do 2 of 6 activities a day of living, or they have a severe cognitive impairment like Alzheimer's. Then they have the ability to accelerate their coverage up to 25% per year. The reason it's 25% per year, or really we're saying as fast as 4 years, is so that we can make sure that clients are staying within those IRS per diem guidelines. And so they won't and should not, hopefully, have any taxable consequence due to accelerating for chronic. For those of you doing any business in the state of California, chronic illness and all 3 of these riders are available in all states, including California. The one thing to note is that we are not currently in the state of New York. So we're in all other states except for New York, but we do have very, very friendly cross-border guidelines as well. So a couple other features with our living benefits as well is that there is no waiting period to access our living benefits. Let me say that again. There is no waiting period to access the living benefits. Most carriers, they dictate, hey, you have a 90, 100-day wait. So basically, if I'm going to go and accelerate for chronic illness, I have to be deemed chronically ill for, let's say, 90 days before I can get any form of payment from that carrier based on my policy. With us, as long as you're deemed chronically ill, and then we will make those payments to you. And we are an indemnity carrier, so we do not request receipts. So we will make that payment without any wait. Also, we know that these benefits are very, very important to everybody who are getting these policies. So the benefit is not based on the death benefit at time of policy. It is based on the death benefit at time of claim. So let's take a quick example. Say your client gets a $500,000 policy. They're funding it pretty heavily. They're looking for potential retirement income, accumulation. And let's say we get 15, 20 years down the road, and that client suffers, whether it's critical, terminal, or chronic, they suffer a condition where they need to accelerate that coverage. Well, let's say their death benefit based on that funding pattern has increased from $500,000 to $700,000. That benefit at time of claim will be based on $700,000. It will not be based on the original $500,000 that policy was originally issued at. So it's almost like a built-in cost of living adjustment. So as that death benefit increases, the benefit, essentially that benefit pool for the living benefits are increasing as well. So most carriers, they base it off the original benefit at time of policy. We are going to go with the benefit at time of claim. All right, exam-free underwriting. I know we kind of teased this out just a little bit ago. Again, for those clients who are 60 years of age or younger, and they're applying for $1 million of coverage or less, we're not doing exams at all. So our compliance team said we can't say 100%, we have to say 99. So it's about 99.5% of exam-free applications going through without any exams or labs. So since I've been here in my 3.5+ years, I've only had one case that would have qualified for exam-free that we did ask for exam or labs, and that was because the client in the last 12 months had been declined from another carrier based on labs. So we gave the client the option to do labs, and if they had improved and we could make an offer, we would. So typically the only time we're going to ask for that is if it's an automatic decline based on our parameters, but there's a possibility through labs that they can get coverage, that is the only time you're going to see it. Again, in my 3.5+ years, I've only had it on one case, but do know that we can potentially ask for it, but we pretty much don't. So of our exam-free applications that come through the door, about 90% of them are approved at standard rates or better. Keep in mind, exam-free isn't just standard or standard tobacco, right? It's not like a true simplified underwriting. This is a process that we have on our shelf product that fully encompasses all of our rate classes, which are preferred through Table 8. So I've had clients that have come through, went through exam-free, right? No exams, no labs, and they are approved at, let's say, Table 8 rates. It's up to them if they wanted to accept it, but we can accept all the way to the bottom of our rate table, or we can approve it at the very top or anywhere in between, right? So do know that it does fully encompass all of our rate classes. It isn't just a standard and standard tobacco. And about 50% of our exam-free applicants are approved in, let's say, 5 days or less. What I would say is, the more detailed your client is on the Part 2, the more forthcoming they are on those medical questions and that medical history, the less likely we are to need anything additional. So again, of those 50% of applicants that are approved in 5 days or less, the other 50% may have some additional item, which would be through a phone interview and or medical records. What I would say is our first course of action, if something else is needed, so something pops up on like the MIB or their RX check, we may ask for a phone interview. That isn't to go through the full application process. It is just to go through the identifying information that popped up on their history report. Once we have that, we generally can make an offer. And then if we do absolutely have to, due to certain underlying conditions, have to order medical records, we will. What I'll tell you is about only 15% or so of our cases have medical records on them. So we are really trying to shy away from that medical record process if we can absolutely do so. Also for our foreign national clients, so any of you doing business in the foreign national, non-US citizen business, anyone doing that, exam-free is still available to them as well. Most carriers, as soon as they hear foreign national, non-US citizen, it's automatically fully underwritten. With us, we do allow for exam-free. The only deal is that we limit the exam-free face amount from $1 million to $300,000 on those individuals. It's still through age 60. Now, if they want to apply for more than 300, that's fully okay. It would just be fully underwritten at that time. And we are pretty good in the foreign national market. We do accept I-10s. Most carriers have shied away or gotten away from the I-10. We do take those. We also take multiple visas. I think there's like 35 or so listed visas that we accept. And if it's on the acceptance list and it's an expired visa, we will still take that as well, as long as they have some form of government ID that is not expired. So passport, a driver's license, or something of that sort. So we are pretty friendly with our non-US citizen foreign nationals as well. All right, so Execudex, I had mentioned earlier, what was cool about that product is it had Insta approval ages 18 to 60. Well, now we have Insta approval on the Pass Setter product. So we rolled this out in a few different stages. Keep in mind, the Insta approval process is only available as long as your client goes through our e-application process. The e-application is really, really easy, user-friendly. But for Insta approval, we rolled this out in a couple stages. So this slide's a little old, I apologize. So the first stage was on juveniles only through $200,000 of coverage. We increased that on juveniles to $500,000. So today, juveniles ages 0 to 17 can be instantly approved. So at the end of that application experience, you know if they are approved or not. And if not, they just need to, it'll just go through the exam-free process. So that is through 500,000, not 200, which this slide says. I will have that updated. As of today, we are rolling out Insta approval for adult ages 18 through age 60 through $1 million of coverage. Now, keep in mind, we got to kind of tame our expectations here, right? So we're going to roll this out in a couple tiers or stages. So at first, the instant approval will be, again, it's ages 18 to 60 through $1 million. These are going to be for your more preferred, really healthy clients where an underwriter really just doesn't need to see that case. Nothing has popped up medically. They are in very good health. Those cases should flow through at that end of that application experience. You'll know if it's approved or not. Now, even if they are not approved through instant approval, it'll still go through exam free. And it doesn't mean they are disqualified from preferred. It just means that we weren't able to make that instant approval decision at the time of application. Maybe something else needed to be looked at. And so it still was available preferred, but instead of being instantly done, it may have taken 3 days, maybe even 4 days. But do know that preferred would still potentially be available for those clients. The second tier, which we would expect in like 8 to 12 months later, as we get more experience through instant approval on those adult ages, we will roll that out for your standard clients, right? Those clients who have maybe a little more health history, but are still pretty healthy. Maybe they're on blood pressure or cholesterol meds, but everything has been watched and it's been good, no issues. Those kind of cases, hopefully on that second tier, will go through the instant approval process. So this is an ever evolving process. There'll be more to come on it, but do know we are trying to make our underwriting processes as simple as possible and as quick as possible, not just for you to get paid, but also for your clients so they really like the experience that they have. Not so much a sales idea, but just so you understand, a lot of times when we are talking about exam free or instant approval and through age 60 through $1 million, right? A lot of people think, well, F&G is a small premium carrier. They just want the more flow business. We beg to differ, right? So this chart says, hey, even for instant approval exam free, if we look at still up to age 60 and a max of $1 million death benefit, what's the max premium we can put in? Well, if we look at a male age 60, it is, I think, for standard rates. If you look at a male age 60, you can pump in almost $97,000 on a $1 million death benefit. For your more conventional clients, age 45, it's about $50,000 for a female and just over $60,000 for a male. So you can still get a lot of money into that $1 million of coverage and still go through whether it's exam free or instant approval. So just wanted to put that out there, that these higher premiums can be pumped into these products and still achieve exam free and or instant approval. All right, so to recap, why F&G? Again, strong product performance driven by that reliable cap rate history. Again, our S&P cap rate is currently at 12%, one of the higher caps you're going to see out there. Our variable loan rates contractually guaranteed not to exceed 5%. Most carriers are going to charge anywhere from 4 to 8. We're at 5%. Or currently we're at 4.64 with a cap of 5. We have that full suite of accelerated death benefit riders, right, which include critical, terminal, and chronic through table 4. Again, no waiting period on those. And then exam-free underwriting and instant approval. So exam-free through age 60 through $1 million up to our best class. Instant approval on juveniles through $500,000, and then on adult ages through age 60 through $1 million. And then you have dedicated partnership and support, right? You have Levinson and their team. Our sales desk if you need them, but we know the Levinson team is always there to field your calls, emails, and any concerns or help that you need. And then finally, just a couple items when you partner with us here at F&G, once you get a code, again, remember, we are a pre-appointment carrier. So once you get that code, you will have sales link, which is made available to you. It's as simple as logging in with your agent code and a password. And then you'll have this. This is the way to manage your business. I know Levinson has case managers that will help you as well. But here you can run illustrations. Here's where our e-application is located. If you have commissions, here you can find your commission statements, etc. This is truly your one-stop shop. There's forms, there's marketing materials, everything is located here. And then also, if you go to success.fglife.com/life-insurance, this is our product site. It houses all of our consumer and producer approved materials. There is no username or password required for this website. So if you want, take a picture of it. Feel free to go there, bookmark it, utilize it from your cell phone, your tablet, computer, wherever. Again, no username or password. Here we have all of our product information. We have sales ideas, tons of material in regards to our living benefits, along with underwriting. And because we are growing so much in the non-US citizen foreign national market, all of our consumer pieces, you have the ability to pull in other languages, which are currently English, Spanish, Mandarin, and Korean. As we get into other markets, we will extend that out. But again, those consumer materials are translated in those languages as well. So with that, I'm not going to make anyone read the disclosures. Again, I just want to thank everybody, the Levinson team, for having us on today. You all for having us and taking time out of your busy schedules. And so again, thank you very much. We appreciate and look forward to working with you all as well.
Great job, Jamie. That was excellent. I see questions that came in, so we're answering everyone. If we need to patch in Jamie afterwards, we can always do that as well, so no problem there. I have about 5 minutes left, so I'm going to be quick here. If we can jump into the first slide, how to get started. So you can get appointed with Levinson and F&G, even if you plan on writing an app in hopefully a month or two, or even sooner than that. No problem. Everything is on our website, and we're going to send out a thank you email. So I mentioned renewals, full pass-through comp, excellent. They even offer advance as long as you're approved. Obviously, no background issues, then you are good to go. On the right-hand side, these are our brochures, everything we just touched on. We'll also include this in the thank you email if you're writing life on one side. So when you want to write annuities with us or vice versa, we can do that as well. So you can have two separate codes, or hopefully you're writing everything with Levinson, but there's another option there for you as well. Let's keep moving forward. So the Stonewood sales presentation system, I mentioned it earlier. And like I said, you can call in, speak to our marketers. We can run these illustrations. In fact, with F&G's IUL at no charge, complimentary. Or if you want to be a member, those are the co-op discounted rates on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, that gives you an opportunity to let us pay for your subscription as long as you're writing that minimum IUL premium every month. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Two sales ideas I want to hit on briefly. And like I said, we'll also include these in the thank you email as well. When you're presenting IUL, this is a Joe Ross napkin presentation. We have a whole webinar around this concept that is awesome. We'll have that in the thank you email. But real fast, this is the napkin. That's what you're looking at in front of you. And it's very simple. Okay, the middle line you draw is retirement age. On the left-hand side, we're showing ages, how this is for everyone, especially younger professionals, and it covers your entire life. Left-hand side is ages 25 to 45, and it shows how the price of college tuition is higher, then it goes down and decreases. Mortgage protection, mortgage payoff, same thing. Income replacement, higher, and then the price reduces. On the right-hand side, you're going to go past the retirement age of 65, and then after age 65, reduce Social Security income, healthcare costs, financial risk, start off lower and then increase, and that's where the IUL comes in strong. If you die during that whole time, tax-free death benefit to your beneficiary, and hopefully everything is okay with the family at that point. But this makes for a slam dunk presentation. Very, very simple in layman's terms. Let's keep moving forward. I want to talk about the legacy concept. So what we did here is use the F&G product just to give you an idea of cost and of the strategy and the sizzle here. So this is for any parent, grandparent, use to open doors. And the concept is, Mr. or Mrs. Klein, if you put in $100 a month, or even 99 a month works, okay? During this is for a child, okay? In this case, we used a newborn child, okay, say a couple months old, age 0, $100 a month paid for a short pay of 21 years. In year 22, we have a $24,000 loan shown on this illustration, getting all of that client's premium back, 100%. So at that point, the policy was free. Okay, during that time, if the insured, the child in this case, passes, there's a tax-free death benefit. We ran an increasing death benefit that ranges from $60,000 to $120,000. Okay, now the best part, policies paid up. Okay, let's say in 21 years, at retirement age, there's just under $85,000 of tax-free income for that child. Is this the ultimate legacy gift? Okay, any parent, grandparent is going to say yes to this. Okay, I promise you. And you just heard about the underwriting, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so ultimate door opener, absolutely. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do now is talk about training. The annuity workshop was amazing. This is an 8-week version. We hosted Coach Charles Samuel, one of my favorite annuity presentations ever. Okay, in fact, Charles will be at the expo in 2025. Very excited about that. You'll get to meet him in person. But take advantage of this. We have a 101 dashboard platform that's free for you all. Okay, and then we have the 8-week Charles workshop as well. That's in the platform. Okay, and this is all complimentary for you and any downline agents. If you're working with agents as well, no problem there. Let's keep moving. Social media posts. I'm almost done, by the way. I know I have about 2 or 3 minutes. Then I have my question. So real fast, we promise that we go out and go on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and we just go in the search bar and we put in, let's say, living benefits or long-term care, life insurance, IUL, top performing posts. Okay, and what I love about these 2 examples, and the reason why I do this, by the way, is so you know you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just change a few spokes, right, and get your own marketing material out there. This is so simple. Okay, the left-hand side is saying, right, to the public, right, a huge bucket of prospects out there. If you're making just $40,000 a year, okay, and you put aside 15% in 40 years, retirement age, $3.1 million if you invest properly. Okay, it's a no-brainer. Right-hand side, 3 tax buckets. Notice on the right-hand side, tax-free, life insurance with cash value. Okay, together, this created almost 100 likes, 6 new prospects, leads, DMs, call it whatever you want. You got to get the word out. I constantly say this, but you got to do the work. Okay, even if 2 people like it, it's two more people than you had the day before. Let's keep moving. I got 2 more slides and we'll put a bow on this. The podcast, great training tool for you all. You got to dive in. Left-hand side is Mr. Charles Samuel, one of my favorite annuity coaches. I sit down with him for an hour. On the right-hand side was Lorenzo-Luaces, great younger professional GA out of Florida, came down about 2 weeks ago. We just launched this. It's a great 1-hour interview. He shares his perspective on what it's like selling out there and working with other agents. But a great tool, because if you walk away with 2, 3, 4 nuggets from both of these episodes, okay, which was free, by the way, it's a win-win, right? What did you lose? Nothing. Let's keep moving. By the way, webinar training schedule, it's what you're on right now. A few upcoming webinars I would like to point out quickly. Our agents requested a DI, Disability 101 course. So we're going to sit down with a surety on the 7th, and we're going to review DI, talk about blue collar, white collar, graded, guaranteed issue, virtually guaranteed issue, all the above when it comes to DI. Okay, just under that core bridge, we're doing a kickoff webinar, Manhattan Life, where we have right behind there, and then Emeritus. This is a big one. Take note. Emeritus, first time ever in history. On the brokerage side, you're going to have full access to the career products as well as the brokerage products, meaning IUL term with living benefits, the DI product, so competitive, the annuities, the whole life product that we could never get our hands on before. Now you have access to everything. And we are launching officially in mid-November, and then the webinar is on the 5th of December. Kansas City Life, brand new competitive term product. Finally, they're rolling out on top of the number one ROP term in the industry today. That's on the 18th of December. Final slide here. We'll put a bow on this. My left-hand side, Positive Tuesday quote, I'm going to mention, and then I'm going to ask our question of the day. Very simple. Let's learn from our mistakes, folks. Love means nothing without action. Apologies mean nothing without change, and trust means nothing without proof. Okay? Very simple to understand. We got to stay on track and do whatever it takes to get the word out, help these clients, help yourself. Okay? Just know enough to be dangerous. I always say that. This is our example of marketing and spreading the word to our agents that we do on social media. You should be doing the same thing. Call it Long-Term Care Wednesday, IUL Friday. Get the word out so everyone knows you're the go-to, you're the guru. You can do this all over the country now. Okay, the sky is the limit. You know that. Okay, question of the day. I spoke about the expo. By the way, get your little fingers on the keyboard. You got to be quick and you got to be correct. Question of the day. I spoke about the expo. Tell me, and I mentioned the 3 qualification levels. I want to know the middle level. Okay, there was 3 levels. The middle level, what was the minimum premium qualification and what is the prize? What's the incentive? For the middle level, there was 1, 2, 3 qualification levels. What was the middle level minimum premium? You got to tell me the minimum premium and what's the incentive if you qualify. Okay, whoever's first, Andrew's going to tell us. You walk away with an Apple iWatch and an IUL prospecting book. Andrew, who was first? Who was correct?
Okay, it is Mark Z. Mark Z.
Mark V like Victor or Z like zebra?
Z is in zebra.
Mark Z, congrats. The middle level, $60,000 round trip airfare, free night at our beachfront resort. Let's have a great day. Everyone is a winner, by the way, because you go leave a review on our Facebook page or Google's page. Guess what? IUL prospecting book on us for all active agents. And hopefully you walked away with an idea, a strategy, a nugget or 2 from today's presentation. Let's have a great day, great Halloween, right? Great rest of the week, great weekend, great selling. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us today.